We are coming off one of our longest breaks in a while. Zach has had a lot of family and friends down there with him in Florida. I look back and I think it's been 3 weeks since we came out with
It's
an
been
episode.
it's been a long time.
But how was all the family coming down there and all the friends?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of going to the same places though, which it was still fun, but
Mhm.
kind of going to the same like river walk for
Yeah.
like 4 weeks in a row. It gets a little old, but it was a lot of fun. See a lot of people, do a lot of fun things. So yeah, it was great.
Was this a planned thing that everybody was coming in a 3 week
Yeah,
span?
it was all
Okay,
yeah, it was all planned.
gotcha. I
A
didn't know if it
lot
was
of it
just like
was someone was leaving in the morning of like a Saturday, then someone else was coming that night. So
gotcha,
yeah, we saw a lot of
gotcha.
people.
Well, you're 3 months of being married now, so
Yeah,
which is unreal. Like it
yeah,
feels
it's
like
crazy.
3 weeks ago. But no, today we have our Did You See It? March Madness has come down to its final game. And we have, since we've been gone, we haven't even talked about it. So we're going to give our top three moments each, as well as our national championship prediction. Cardinals opening day happened, as well as the rest of Major League Baseball. We have our kind of recap from that series against Toronto, which turned out pretty well so far. And
Hmm.
then we have our division standings, MVP, predictions, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, Manager of the Year, World Series matchup, World Series champ. So it's a loaded episode here. But Zach, why don't you get us started with your Did You See It over this last 3 weeks?
Yeah, yeah. So some I did you see it's I kind of had to not do some because they're kind of just like just whatever happened in March Madness, but I'll do one that is from the Cardinal game, and they have a new food item at the Cardinal game, and it is a Nashville hot chicken on a Cardinals red uh donut with maple bacon and shack sauce, and it looks very good.
Hmm.
It is huge. I don't know if you can see it on my screen, but
Dang, dude.
it
So
looks
that's
really
one of those
good.
items some people would either be like, "Oh, it's too much happening," and then there's people like us, which are like, "Yeah, that looks good."
I would for sure get that. Um, what else? Um, I guess one I sent you a while ago is I sent it to you. It was if you take away Mark McGwire's 583 home runs, he only has 1,103 hits, and he played 16 years. That's crazy. Um, okay, what else? Let me
Do
go
you
back
think he
to
would have been a Hall of Famer if he didn't take steroids?
probably maybe. I don't, he didn't even have 2,000 hits, did he?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Then he had 500 home runs, but
Mm-hmm. That's probably
um,
around 1,600 or 1,700 hits. Then.
yeah. If you go by, he'd only have 1,100 if he didn't hit 500 and some home runs. Uh, on April Fool's Day yesterday, the Battlehawks had an amazing April Fool's joke where they had an official statement. They said, following a vote from XFL owners, the Battlehawks have officially been approved to relocate to the greater Los Angeles area. And they're just saying thank you to the fans, thank you to the XFL. And then they're like April Fools.
I
So
think
that
that's
was
great.
funny.
Yeah.
And then we also missed the World Baseball Classic a lot too during March. We missed a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but that was incredible. Japan during the championship game, they had their TV ratings in Japan were like 95% of people were watching it, something crazy.
Yeah.
And then Randy Rosarena is just, I think if you're in playoff contention, you have to trade for him. I know the
Mm-hmm.
Rays will probably make the playoffs, but he's basically Babe Ruth when it's a big stage.
He's clutch,
Um,
dude.
because I'm watching him when he robbed that home run and he just like stared after he caught it. That was
Uh-huh.
awesome. And the atmospheres there looked incredible. I think those are all I have that I can find.
Also, since I haven't come on here either, Lars Nootbaar
Hmm.
went from like 50,000 followers to a
To a
million.
million. As same amount as the Cardinals Instagram.
That's so
It's
crazy.
crazy.
My did you see it was probably a game that just ended before this, the women's national championship for college basketball. Caitlin Clark, dude. I'm sure you've seen
She's
her all over
crazy.
the
Yeah.
place. Goodness. She was not enough to win it all, though LSU ended up
How
getting
many
it
did she
done.
have? I'm looking at the box score right now.
Last time I checked, it was 28.
She had 30 points,
30.
8 assists.
She tucks a lot of threes, like 20
Yeah. She was
shots.
8 for 19.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
basically all
So
she shoots is threes.
yes, definitely. Yeah, she's not a big build, so she can't really bang down low at all. But um, yeah, man, I had a feeling this might be where their run ends because she was doing a lot by herself. And if you can find
Hmm.
any kind of scheme to make her run and make it difficult on her, it was gonna be really tough. And LSU was just so deep, and they got it done. But March
I do
Madness
have
on the
one thing going on the women's basketball. Did you see how they guarded that one person from South Carolina? She was out
uh
at the 3 point line and they literally were like standing inside the elbow. And
yeah,
all these LSU people were like, players were like, I'm taking offense to that. I don't know why they guarded. Like, I'm like, she can't shoot, so why would you
yeah,
guard her?
yeah.
I
Why
don't know
would you
why
step
everyone's
out
getting
there?
so mad about that. I'm
I
like, if
agree.
you can't shoot, then like, I'm not gonna guard you up at the 3 point line.
Yep, yep, yep,
It's
yep.
like
I
Ben
completely agree.
Simmons.
It is. It's exactly like Ben Simmons. March Madness on the men's side, since we talked it up like crazy, and then we both got busy here, and we haven't like covered
Hmm.
anything of it.
I know.
It's been phenomenal. Absolutely, like
It's
I don't want to
yeah,
say exceeded expectations because we knew it was going to be crazy.
yeah.
Especially this year where we talked about how ranked teams are losing every single week.
And
Do you
this
want to do
finals
your
is kind
top?
of fitting to this year because we literally had no idea going in the tournament who would win.
Yes, yes. And San Diego State, like I picked UConn to win it. I was really high on them, but San Diego State, a lot of people had them losing to Charleston in game one of this whole
I
thing.
did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
A lot of people did. A lot of people did.
Because
Charleston was that
I'd always
sexy pick.
pick them in other years and they would do nothing. Also, the Mountain West literally loses. San Diego State's the only exception to a team that can actually win in the tournament. Everyone else just loses first round.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, they had a really bad last, I think it was like 10 years of just like
Hmm.
pretty much winless basketball from the Mountain West. But you get us started here with your top three moments of
Let's
March
do.
Madness.
Let's switch off because I wrote put down a bunch. So in case we
Okay.
have the same, then I
Okay.
have some backups. Um, the first one to me that was the biggest moment happened on day one was arguably the worst pass I've ever seen in my life, and that was Kihei Clark just launching it and then Furman getting the three. That was awesome. I was listening to it at work on the radio because I couldn't watch it. And I just hear like pass stolen. He passes it, shoots it, and it went in. I was like, oh my mouth, my jaw like dropped open. So that was pretty cool. That was my first one. What's yours?
That's actually my same one. So I did the
Yeah,
approach of just I was like I'm prepared to have a couple of the same as you. So
yeah,
yeah, that was my third one, and such an awful ending for Kihei Clark, which I'm sure you see more Kihei Clark than me when it comes
yeah. I
to
don't like
ACC
him.
basketball.
Obvious reasons. He made that. I didn't like him because they beat Texas Tech, I think, in the title game, and he made that.
Yep.
They beat Purdue. He made some really
Mhm.
good pass, like when he was a freshman in that tournament,
Mhm.
and then he ends his career by making probably the dumbest pass ever. When you have a timeout too, he's like,
Which
"Now let's
is
just throw it down there."
it's ironic because he's known for being like one of the most just savvy, smart point guards in the country. Veteran guy that just plays the game the right way. Um, and I don't understand if he was panicked or if he actually didn't know the time internally and just thought he could just
Yeah,
throw it up and get away with it. Either way, I mean, what a shot for Furman.
taking a 10-second call is better than that too. You can at least set up on defense.
Definitely.
Oh, you want me to do my next one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, Purdue losing first round is a pretty big moment. As I did have them in my final four. Don't know why. Not going to make that happen. That mistake happen again. They're not going far in my next year's tournament. I'm gonna have them lose first round regardless.
I don't know what their future looks like scouting wise because Zach Edey was pretty much all that they had
Yeah,
this year. so many just young guards, and that's why I think I had them losing to Memphis in the round of 32,
Mhm.
which obviously Florida Atlantic.
Which FAU, like if it wasn't a jump call, like a jump ball call, they would have lost that game.
Yes, I know. Wow, well, what a run. My number two, um, and I might be a little biased here, but it was Julian Strother's shot over UCLA. I had to put it in there
Mm.
for Gonzaga. I'm prepared for the Gonzaga hate from Zach
Yeah,
'cause
I'll
I
do an
have them.
honorable mention right now, and it's I wrote this on my thing. I said once again, Gonzaga not getting it done. Drew Timmy overrated. They got absolutely blasted by UConn. That was one of my more
That was
fun
rough.
games to watch, I would
that
say.
was that was my least favorite one to watch.
And I'm not gonna lie, I really want San Diego State to win because it would make me so happy. A mid-major school winning the
Mhm.
championship after Gonzaga can never get it done.
Yeah, that would hurt. That one would
That'd
sting
be
for
awesome.
sure. That would sting. My last one really quick was the Farley Dickinson. How could you not
Yeah,
put Farley Dickinson as number one? I thought they were going to beat FAU for the longest time
yeah.
in that round of 32 matchup. And also, like, not only was it just a super small school with a really small gym and like the like
Hmm.
cliche Cinderella run, their coach like got a new opportunity now at Iona that he probably wouldn't
Hmm.
have gotten,
Yeah.
if they didn't do this. So super cool. That's what
Which I
March
always think
Madness is
it's funny.
about.
It's like it's not like they had a great like they had a decent season. They only got in
Yeah,
because the team who won the championship was transferring in and couldn't isn't eligible, which I still think is stupid.
I agree.
Um, and then he gets one win. They're like, "Oh, Iona coach, yeah, for
I
sure."
know that is kind of crazy. Yeah.
um, I would say, well, my last one was an honorable mention. So I think a really big storyline was Marquise Noel was amazing. The
Mm-hmm.
Kansas State Michigan State game to me has been the best game of the tournament.
That's true.
That game was insane. Went overtime back and forth. He had broke the record for assists. He had like 27 points and 19 assists.
Yeah.
The the assist to Keontae Johnson, the reverse alley oop, that
Yeah.
was awesome. And then obviously last night's game, San Diego State with the buzzer beater. That's a pretty big
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Did you see how close his foot was to the line?
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't realize it in like live, but
Yeah,
and then
man.
I put a lot down. I have some other notes.
Mm-hmm.
Princeton making it to the Sweet 16. That's pretty good. They won 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I when they won the first game, I was like, Mizzou's kid can make a run. And then of course they lay an egg and Princeton made everything they threw up, which Mizzou has had problems beating 15 seeds, as we know.
Yes, that one still
Um,
hurts.
yeah. And then I guess the last one I had that was kind of a big is no number one seeds in the Elite Eight, which I think is like the first time ever.
I was gonna say it's the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's just this tournament fits with what we expected from this year
Yeah.
all throughout. It fits it perfectly. Um,
And even
did
like
you?
what
I was gonna say, did you have any other moments? Because I'm trying to think off the top of my head now of moments
uh
that stood
I
out.
was gonna say the San Diego State Creighton game that there was a foul call at the end where they shot two
Mm,
free throws. That was kind of eh.
tough situation to call that for sure.
Texas losing to Miami really hurt because I had them to win the national title game. Um, if their big man wasn't like hurt though, he was hurt like against Xavier and Miami,
Mhm.
and he was popping off the first 2 games, so that
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah,
Kansas losing the second round that was nice,
that was nice.
very nice.
That one felt good.
What
I don't
other?
like Arkansas though. I'm not a was it Musselman?
You don't
Musselman?
like the Arkansas
I'm not a big fan of the coach.
just because he took his shirt off?
Uh, well, he came from Nevada during. Do you remember the Martin twins when they
Yeah, yeah,
played there?
yeah.
He came from there, and he's one of those coaches that is really a player's coach. I feel like where they really would like if you were a player, you'd love him. But if
Hmm.
you're an opponent and you lose to him, oh, you hate his guts. So I guess
Oh
he's a
yeah.
good coach in that way, but yeah, as a fan, you can't stand him.
I really want to say something about your favorite coach, but I'll refrain. I'll refrain.
You can do it. Are you talking about Mark Few?
Yeah, I was gonna say you like coaches who get DWIs or
Yeah, wasn't
I
it
can't.
that
There's a DUI. No.
drinking and driving is what he did. I get it
I
confused
thought
too.
he was high when he did it.
Now you got me confused. Maybe he was.
He did something bad. That's the bottom line.
Yes, he was driving under the influence of
Yeah, he should be
of
fired.
something.
No, I'm kidding.
And then we have the tournament or the championship, I should say, tomorrow night. But when people are listening to this, it could have already happened, or it was currently on Monday, because we're
Yeah.
posting this on a Monday. But San Diego State, full of defense. I'm afraid offensively, can they get it done? But I've said that this whole tournament against
Hmm.
Alabama. I don't think they can keep up offensively. UConn just does not have a weakness, and I think I've
Yeah, they're
mentioned
so
that
good.
so many
I
times.
wanted Miami last night just to they had stretches where they go on a run and then they get to 10 and they just could not get it. I just wanted the game to be close, but then UConn just that Hawkins guy would just do like a step back contested three. Sonogo's a beast. That tall, skinny white guy is pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
Klingon.
Joey California.
Yeah,
They just have a bunch of guys who just shoot, make everything, and
yeah. I think Hawkins is NBA bound. I think he's that good. I think
yeah,
his release is just so quick
yeah,
that and he rises up and I think he was supposed to be under the weather too last night
yeah. He had
going into it.
this is flu game.
Yeah, and he drilled the first shot of the game and I'm like, "Oh, great.
Hmm.
Like it's going to be a long night." And Sonogo hit a couple threes early. Like if he's doing
Oh,
that and he stretches the floor,
that guy's a
it's just
beast.
he's a
He has
monster.
such a
Yeah,
cool name too.
yeah, they're in a good spot moving forward too. I think
Uh huh.
Sonogo's a junior. I don't know what his status looks like NBA wise,
Yeah, I
and
don't
then
know.
even their backup big, like you mentioned, Klingon.
Yeah, I think
Um,
he's
he's
yeah.
a
Sonogo's
freshman.
a junior. Where's Klingon? They had some guy off the wait. No, I'm so dumb. I'm looking at the stats from last night, and I see like I'm looking at the minutes column. I thought it was their points. I was like, man, they really had a lot of scores. The Klingon guy's a freshman.
Yeah, 7'2" freshman.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
convenient.
wild. Yes, very convenient. So I'm going UConn. I picked them to win it all going into this thing, and I just feel like they can play any style of game. I think obviously San Diego State's going to make this more of a defensive game.
Hmm.
Even if they do, I think even though they have a better defense than UConn can keep it close defensively
Hmm.
when match up against them. But I think UConn's going to try to push the pace a lot
Yeah,
and really score. And I don't think San Diego State's going to be able to catch up. But
I know. San Diego
uh,
State's not like a big scoring team.
no,
They're
no,
more just like defense kind of.
it's your style
Um,
of basketball, really. It's what you like.
yeah, they just kind of cause chaos. But like watching UConn's kind of fun to watch too. They pass just
Yeah,
sharing the ball. It's not like ISO, which Miami's a lot of ISO guys.
it is. Yes, it is.
But
It was.
I don't know. I really think UConn's gonna win. I think they could win by a lot.
I
If
know.
they get it, if
They've
they
won
get
every
up, I
game by
don't think
double
San Diego
digits.
State can really come back.
Hmm. I agree. Yeah, it's going to be that first half is really
Hmm.
important. Like I think San Diego State against FAU gave up 40 in the first half,
Yeah, they did.
and they can't do that against UConn. Like they
But then they
gotta
ended up coming back from like
no,
10. It's
it's
weird.
crazy. It's such a
They just
weird
kind of started causing
tournament.
chaos.
Yeah. See, I'm going UConn, and I'm gonna keep it. I think it'll be within 10 for the first
You
time
think
this
so?
tournament.
UConn's won like every game by 15 plus, except
Yeah.
last night's wasn't. It was
They
13.
should. They're arguably the best four seed,
Oh
um,
yeah.
ever. I mean, I saw this a stat that this is the first four seed versus the five seed in a national championship ever. So
Oh
I guess it's
really?
one of those kind of a stretch of a stat importance
Yeah.
things. But no, UConn had a rough stretch in the middle of the year where they lost like 3 or 4 games in a row, I believe. Um,
Hmm.
and they were in a tough Big East this year with like
Yeah, the Big
Providence
East is
and
good, and they're gonna get even
yeah.
better because Rick Pitino's at St. John's.
Hmm. Hmm.
The Providence coach went to Georgetown. Ed
Yep.
Cooley, which Georgetown will get better recruits than Providence. There's a lot of
You would
big name coaches.
you would think Villanova would have some kind of comeback season after. I
I
mean, I
think
know
they
there's
will. I think they'll get. I think they'll
yeah,
be back.
there's no Jay Wright, but still, I mean, it's a
Like the Big East is
big
low
time school.
key. The Big 12 is the best basketball
Hmm.
conference without a doubt. The Big East could be number two, honestly.
If Kansas State didn't make that run, obviously Texas made a deep run. I was about to say the Big 12 really disappointed. When it
Yeah,
comes to
kind of.
Kansas not making it, Iowa State got booted out in the first to Pittsburgh. Iowa State scored like
Well,
27 points.
Pittsburgh is. Oh, I guess Pittsburgh's ACC.
Yeah.
ACC's conference was terrible. Everyone's just because Miami made it to the Final Four. Everyone's like, "Oh, the ACC." Yeah, we were really bad,
Yeah.
really bad. And
I'm
also,
talking like
Houston's going to the Big 12 next year. Did you know that? That's
that's
going to
gonna
be
that
fun.
that's gonna be interesting.
They're going to be in there 1 year before. Yeah, 1 year before Texas and Kansas leaves, which I wish they weren't just for basketball's sake, but everything's
Where's
about
Texas and
football.
Kansas going?
SEC. No, not Kansas.
Really?
Texas and Oklahoma.
Okay,
Sorry.
I was about to say Kansas. Really?
Sorry, my bad.
That would have been crazy. Um, Texas, Oklahoma, SEC. How many schools are the SEC going to have then?
A lot.
That's a lot. That is
I
a
I
lot of
personally want
schools.
Clemson to go to the SEC because I just
Yeah.
feel like that's just I don't know. I just feel like we're more of an SEC school than a ACC school, but
Football wise, that would be really interesting. Really interesting,
it'd be
actually.
very fun. All the games would be like super. It'd just be
Yeah.
awesome.
Be a
Like we
championship
probably
game
would.
every week.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be like three lost SEC teams in the
Yeah.
Final Four, all three,
Yeah.
just because all the good teams are in the SEC.
Low key college football's, I don't want to say around right around the corner, but it's like
Hey, Clemson
time's
spring
moving
games
quick.
in 2 weeks, so
Time is
it's
moving
getting I'm
fast.
pumped.
I know. I was thinking about that earlier because I was seeing some spring game type news, and I was thinking we're in April now. We're talking what, August is when it really picks up.
Yeah, the last week in August and then September, like first weekend of September is really ramps up.
I guess that's 4 months still, but still, I mean,
Yeah,
you got married 4 months ago, so we'll,
yeah, I
it'll
know,
it'll be here before you know it.
I know.
But we're both going with UConn, and
Yeah,
are you saying pretty easily UConn?
I think so. I hope it's close. Also, I have another gripe about the championship. One, it's Monday. Don't like that. Wish it was today. And also, it's for me, it's for you, it's not bad, but for me, the game starts at 9:20 Eastern. That sucks.
That's late.
That is terrible.
I didn't think about that.
It's like my
That's true.
bedtime.
That is late. That is late.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
that's
I,
fun.
I I think it's interesting. I saw the NBA has no games tomorrow at all, and I wonder if that's because of the. I'm guessing that's because of the
Maybe,
national
yeah.
championship.
I don't know.
Thought that was kind of odd.
Isn't the NBA
Um,
season almost done?
yeah, 4 games left, four or
Thank
five games left.
goodness.
Then and then we got to start talking some playoffs.
Yeah.
'Cause that'll pick up pretty quick here. But uh, yeah, we both got UConn winning.
Mm.
Moving on to the MLB, we had opening day on March 31st. Is it usually late March?
Yeah, usually is.
I feel like as a kid, I always thought it was April 1st. Maybe that
April
just
Fool's
happened one
Day.
time. Maybe. But no, the Cardinals played the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays were in town this week for a 3 game series, and we won 2 out of the 3. And the offense for both teams, besides the second game for the Blue Jays, was off the charts. So
Yes.
what is your takeaways from this 3 game series here?
Our offense looks amazing. So that's really good. And then but our pitching, well, I guess yesterday our pitching was pretty solid. Um and I think today our pitching wasn't terrible. If I don't I'm trying to find we gave it 4 runs, but that's not terrible, I would say. But the first game was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Mike Lish just had that bad first inning, but then he settled down, I felt like. But our offense, our lineup, I just look at it and I just start smiling. It's
I
so
know.
good. We're
There's
so
no
deep.
weaknesses.
And
There's no
then
weaknesses.
it's just so good. Brendan Donovan's gonna lead the National League in home runs this year, I think. Uh Nolan Gorman's playing out of his mind. He's hitting
Yes.
really good.
Have
Yeah,
you
if
been
we
able
just
to
trade some,
see?
get us ace, yeah, we're winning the World Series.
Have you been able to see any of Gorman's at bats live? Have you been able to watch it?
I watched opening day and I watched a little
Okay.
bit of yesterday's game. I didn't watch today's game. We actually went to the beach, so I was at the beach.
Gotcha. Gorman, even if he had no hits, I'm super impressed because he is not chasing anything.
I think yeah, when I watched, he had good at bats.
he is on top of everything right now.
And he
I
worked
think it was a
on he struggled with the high fastball last year. They were talking about on the
mhm,
broadcast, and he has been working on that. And then my mom texted me and said one of his home runs was on a high fastball. So
it was.
that is good.
Yeah. No, that was great to see, man. And he's, they've been pitching him a lot outside. He's got such a quick bat. They're really trying to make him drive it the other way. And he actually got one of those for a two RBI single, or maybe he stretched out for a double down the line in game
Yeah.
2 of the series. But I think he has 6 RBIs now already. I think he had
Yeah.
4 today and 2 in the first game or in the second game there. Um, Pitching wise, there's really one guy I'm worried about. And I was worried about him going into the season, and that's Jordan Hicks.
Hmm.
He's all over the place, and I know it's a 2 game sample size here, but game 1 struggled. Game 2 they brought him in. We had a day off in between, so that they weren't pitching him back to back. And he walked 3 guys in a third of an inning. And then Helsley had to come kind of save the day.
Yeah.
Uh, Jack Flaherty had one of the strangest
I know.
stat lines I've ever seen. 5 innings, no hits, no runs, but he walked 7, and
Yeah.
he was like all over the place, but nobody was making hard contact. And I could only imagine if he was not as wild and erratic with his pitches the other day, what could have been of that
Yeah.
performance.
It's good to see him at least have a game where he's pitched and they haven't hit him, because I know in spring training it wasn't looking amazing.
No, no, not at all.
So hopefully he gets it together. Like Montgomery's game today, he gave up 3 earned and pitched 5 innings, which I am honestly I'm fine with that.
Yeah, not at all. That's fine.
With our offense, you giving up like 3 runs? Like if you
Yeah,
look at
and
our team right now, I know it's been 3 games, but still, Donovan's going crazy. He's batting 357. Burleson had 3 hits today. He played really good.
he was great today.
375 now. O'Neill pinched hit. He's at 222. That's not. I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
Goldschmidt's at 500. Arenado's at 308. Contreras at 500.
yeah,
Gorman at 444. Our boy Jordan
yeah.
Walker
I was gonna say, how
333.
have we not mentioned him
I
yet?
know we're mentioning all these other young guys, Donovan, Burleson. It's actually really funny because I was talking to Kaylee. We went, um, not the last time we went and watched Double A. We went the year before. Donovan, Burleson, and Gorman were all playing on that team.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and they're all up now. And that was the game Gorman hit 3 home runs in that game, but they're now all up
Mhm.
here. And then last year we went and saw Jordan Walker playing Double A. And now they're all up here, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm so glad he gets the opportunity, and he's gotten today wasn't great. And, honestly, he's hit a couple balls really hard. There's also been 2 infield singles that he's gotten, but
But
he's
he hit
gotten a
him
hit.
hard.
Yes. He's gotten on base and gotten a hit in every single game.
Got a
So,
stolen base too.
yeah, he had a great double today. He roped it down the line. I mean,
Yeah, I
just
saw that. His first extra base hit.
explosive. So, I'm just waiting for that first homer, and then
Yeah.
kind of move
I
on
think
from there.
he's
But
hit
no,
all his hits have been over 100 miles
yeah,
off
yeah,
the
he's
bat. So his
hitting.
first single was nice, just drilled it right up the middle on a Alec Manoah, who's a good pitcher, and we lit him up.
We lit him up. Gosman kind of had his way with us, but that was a game
He's
where
good. Yeah.
Flaherty and the bullpen was great. And then today, man, we let up Bassett for 9 runs and 3 1/3. And I mean,
Yeah. That's good.
everybody was hitting the ball hard. So
Contreras is
that
hitting good
was,
too. I'm so happy him getting hit directly in the knee by Jordan Hicks.
yeah,
You have no idea where that ball's going pitch.
I know.
Um,
That looked
that's nice.
bad. That
Yeah,
looked
I was
scary.
scared.
One
Then I
of
saw him,
three
he
off the
couldn't bend his
kneecap.
knee. I was like, oh no. And then Kisner comes trotting in. Oh no.
I know. Kisner batted 086 this spring, and I was like, great.
Like his
But
stats last year, they showed it when he was up and he batted like 220 in 90 some games. I was like, oh,
yeah. Yeah, Kisner behind the plate's not an issue, I don't think.
yeah, he's
I
fine
think he's
defensively, which
mhm,
he's fine as a backup. Just don't,
for sure.
Contreras, please don't get hurt like you have in the
He's
past.
giving me those Tony Cruz vibes from back in the day,
Yeah, I like
where
Tony
it's just
Cruz.
like a complete liability at the plate, but behind the plate can
Hmm.
get it done.
And
A big
also,
takeaway.
go
Oh, you
ahead.
got it. You got it. No, you got it.
No, I was gonna say one thing I saw today that um I'm happy to see is Dylan Carlson went 3 for 4.
Yes.
And I don't know why all of a sudden it's like Dylan Carlson not starting. He had a pretty
Mm-hmm.
solid spring, I felt like, but
Mm-hmm. I think
I
he
guess
led
we'll
us in
just kind of
RBIs this
rotate our
spring.
outfielders a lot, I guess.
Well, you mentioned how all these guys are hitting. Maybe an ace is possibly in the middle. It's
You
going to
got
be
to
an
trade
outfielder.
Yepes.
Yeah, I mean, it might even be. I think Yepes is definitely like the odd guy out,
He's
but
like
it might
to
even
me, I think
be.
he's MLB ready DH for sure.
Yes, I completely agree. I think it might even be another one of our outfielders here. I don't think we keep O'Neill, Walker. Oh, Walker's a given; he's staying. But
We're
O'Neill,
keeping him.
Walker, Newbar, Carlson, Burleson. I don't think all five will be up. I guess you could, but if Gorman's hit, I was thinking like O'Neill didn't start today, so and
Yeah.
Burleson didn't. Burleson did really well, and I was thinking we have the Braves for three coming up here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I was thinking maybe Burleson as DH, but I'm like Gorman, literally can't take Gorman out of the
Gorman,
lineup.
yeah, you can't. And then you can't take, it's not like you can put Gorman at second because Donovan, I think Donovan solidified. Yeah, he's lead off man. He's second base. And
Mhm.
then I just think it's funny that we have Tommy Edman batting last and he's still hitting good and plays amazing defense.
I
But
know
he's
he had a
gonna get
great play
like
today.
six WAR like always.
Yeah,
And yeah,
he was
I'm
a
so
borderline
excited.
all star slash Gold Glover, you
Yeah.
know, and he's batting ninth in our lineup. So it's a great spot to be in. It's kind of like what it's been 3 games, but it's kind of what we envisioned
Hmm.
of what our lineup could be, especially if Gorman can be that.
I
I mean,
think, yeah.
we have a
Or I was gonna
potential
say, I
of
think it
of
was
five
you who said
guys.
that they gave, or this lineup kind of gives 2004 vibes. Was that you who said
Mhm.
that?
I think I might
Maybe
have said that. I'll
because you
take credit
got
for it.
Goldschmidt, yeah, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Albert Pujols, Scott Rowland, and then yeah, Kaylee wanted me to say that she thinks Paul Goldschmidt looks like Chris Carpenter, and he does. His hair is really short
Yeah,
and he has the beard. It's kind of funny.
yeah, yeah.
And then we got like the combo of Contreras, Gorman. Heck, Gorman's hitting the cover out of the ball. Jim Edmonds, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
MV3.
Gordon
Jordan
Walker could
Walker.
be,
Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy, man. We're in a good spot, and I don't think our pitching staff will stay this way. I'm not like Toronto's a mashing team, so it's not like I'm super discouraged either. Flaherty pitched
I'm
well
getting
enough.
winning the series against a team who we'll get to. I have them making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same here.
it's very positive.
We can kind of use that to transition into our 2023 predictions with the Blue Jays. I have to mention everybody talks, and I even just said how they mash. I'm not really. I'm high on the Blue Jays, but I'm not as high, I guess, as other people. Like I have them win
Hmm.
the AL East. I'll just say that. But
I do too.
when it comes to going far into the postseason,
Yeah.
after Springer, Bichette, Vladdy, Varsho's good,
Perk,
and Kirk's good. Yeah, and then it's
Chapman,
like Chapman. I guess he's got
Merrifield.
power. Merrifield.
He's not that great.
I don't know. They don't Kiermaier, Brandon Belt. They don't have that like Teoscar Hernandez, like that
Yeah.
other big guy there that provides a threat. But we can start, I guess, with our division predictions here.
Here, before we do that, I just want to ask you, who would you want the Cardinals to trade for like a starting pitcher? I have like
Oh
no
man,
idea.
I don't either. I really don't either. I think it's really going to be telling of how the season kind of plays out
Yeah.
with other teams, and if like um I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Pablo Lopez is the name that everybody throws around.
But
He's
he
in
just got
Minnesota.
traded.
Yeah, he just signed with Minnesota. So
Maybe that wouldn't happen. I was gonna say maybe the White Sox have another bad year. We'd give up a lot for Dylan Cease, but
oh, yeah, that'd be quite a bit. I really do think it plays. We have to kind of see how things play out. I look at like the Royals, and what's that picture of the Spray Singer?
uh
I know he's nothing crazy. I know it's we're talking ace, so I guess I probably shouldn't
mhm.
have brought him up. But he's a guy where the Royals have scored, I think, 1 run in the first 3 games this year.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, the Royals are going to be awful. See what maybe the Tigers have. That's a
Yeah.
bad division.
Also, I don't think you like this guy, but what if Boston's bad? Chris Sale?
Did you see what
He's
he did in his
crazy.
first start?
What?
Did you see what he did against the? I mean, he was facing an Orioles team that rakes, but do you see what happened to him?
Yeah. No.
Seven runs in 3 innings.
Oh yeah, that's Adley Rushman went 5 for 5.
Yes. Adley was, yeah. Adley's up
So
there
good.
for MVP. Like I
Yeah,
really think he can make that
I
case.
agree.
But we can
Maybe
start with
someone
our
from the Marlins.
divisions.
They have a lot of good pitchers.
I thought about the Marlins too. Yeah, because I think they're
Brewers,
going to
Corbin
finish fourth or
Burns.
fifth. Corbin or Woodruff.
Yeah.
In the American League East, I guess I can rattle off what I have. I have Toronto in first place. I have the Yankees in second, the Rays in third, the Orioles in fourth, and then the Red Sox in fifth. And I still think, let me check real quick. Yeah, I still think that's the best division of baseball. I think the top
Yeah.
three teams there all make the playoffs.
I
But
think
what
the
do you have?
Orioles could make a push, but
I agree.
their pitching's not great at all.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, Mine is Toronto number one. I put Tampa number two. I think they're I don't know. I think maybe this is the year they can make a run. They got hopefully Wander stays healthy for the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
They just have a bunch of guys that you don't really know that just all hit good.
Yeah.
And then their pitchers are so deep. You got McClanahan, Rasmussen. I can't think of the other guy's name. Glass now
Glass
will be
now when he's
back at some
healthy.
point.
Yeah.
I also didn't
I mean,
realize Glass now was 6'8". That's
mhm.
crazy.
They have a guy. Springs is his last time. I think it's Jeffrey Springs, maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
look
know
up the
they're
roster.
I know they were facing the Tigers, but he went 6 innings, 2 hits, 12 strikeouts. It was just out of nowhere. I mean, it's just
Yeah, spring. Okay, I'm opening up the roster. I gotta check them out.
they just it's kind of like the Guardians. They just have pitching upon
Yeah, and
pitching.
they have
Just
good both. They have Zach Eflin, who's solid. I don't think he's like crazy
he's a
good.
good 4 or
Shane
5 though.
McClanahan, yeah, Jeffrey Springs, and then why they only have like four starters listed? I guess they only have four starters on the
But they
roster
do
right
that
now.
opener sometimes now,
Yeah, true.
where they just pitch everybody.
Yeah, I had Toronto, Tampa, and then the Yankees. I think the Yankees will still make the playoffs, but I think this first part of the season where a lot of their starters are hurt, I don't think they're gonna maybe struggle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm still never like pumped about their lineup. To me, I just think
Me neither.
it's just Aaron Judge and everyone else. Like
I
I'm kind of
agree.
looking at the roster right now. I know they brought up Volpe, like he could be a good spark for them,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know.
I agree. I
um,
mean, they're just aging guys.
yeah.
Donaldson, Stanton still. I mean, he hit 1,485 today, but I mean,
Who did?
Stanton he hit
Uh,
1,485 today. But it's kind of like, is he going to bat 220 again like he did last
yeah.
year? Rizzo kind of aging. I don't know. I agree with you
Yeah,
there.
DJ LeMahieu, Donaldson's
Mm-hmm.
37,
Yeah.
LeMahieu's 34, Rizzo's 33.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Hicks, awful. He's
Oh yeah.
33. Aaron Judge is 30. They have a ton of guys over 30, which is kind of it's a little similar to the Cardinals. We have like our three main guys over 30, and then it's all young guys, really young guys.
Yeah.
So
The difference is with the Yankees. If I'm a Yankees fan, I'm not really worried about the future because you just go
uh
buy whenever
yeah,
these guys
true.
age up, just go buy whoever you want.
Yeah, that's
But
very
so you
true.
have the Orioles fourth place, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and then Red Sox fifth. But I think the Orioles could make a push for it. It honestly could be a division where they all get in, but I don't think so when we go to these other divisions.
Yes. American League Central. I have been on the White Sox train these last couple of years. I'm not going to be on it this year. I like the Guardians to win the division. I have the White Sox in second, Minnesota in third, and then two brutal teams. I'll go Detroit fourth and Kansas City fifth.
I got Cleveland number one. I think they're gonna run away with it. I think they're really good, way better than the other teams, or they should run away with it, but I don't know. I have Twins second, White Sox third because they just always get hurt every year. So I think they're gonna blow it up this year. Um, then KC Detroit.
Okay.
The last
Um,
KC Detroit is just kind of a coin flip. Who
it
wants to be
really
last
is.
place?
It's really bad. American League West. This is where it gets a little interesting for me. I have the Mariners winning the division. I have the
Mm.
Astros in second. I have the Rangers in third, Angels in fourth, and the A's coming there in last place. The Angels are a team, man, where you and I have hyped them up these last couple of years. And I'm watching their lineup. I'm looking at it the other day against the A's. and it's really like almost the same thing they had last year. They have a healthy Rendon, but is Rendon
Yeah.
what he was that one
They have
year? And
Brendan Drury, don't they? And Hunter
they do
Renfro.
in Renfro, and then Taylor Ward. It's not a bad
Yeah.
lineup, and then
Yeah.
obviously the two stars, but the pitching's kind of whatever. Still, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I have Astros. I think their pitching's just so good.
Mhm.
And they literally have the same team, but they added Jose Abreu, so that's pretty good.
Pretty
I
good.
know Jose Altuve's out, but as I sent you that video a little earlier, that was very funny.
Yeah.
Um, but they're still so good. And then I have Seattle second, Texas three. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if we wouldn't have filmed this like a couple days after opening day, I may have had Texas four, but they just
I
started
know.
scoring a ton of runs, so I got on the Texas train. I know DeGrom really didn't pitch great in his first game, but
Yeah.
I have Texas three and then Angels four, Oakland five. I'm hoping because I don't have high expectations for the Angels to actually make it.
Hmm.
Because watching Trout and Otani in the World Baseball Classic with actually something to prove was amazing.
Yes.
So hopefully, honestly, okay. Now that I think about it, I don't want him to make the playoffs because I don't want Otani to go back and he's going to come to St. Louis.
I'm here.
Be awesome.
Yeah. With the Rangers, I was kind of anti Rangers probably 2 weeks before the season started, and then I'm looking at the rotation, and if healthy, I know it's a big if, but
Yeah.
DeGrom, Eovaldi, and then Martin Perez was your number one last year, and he's your third guy.
Yeah.
So he's pitching tonight against the Phillies. So they
And then
might
you
be
play in
in.
a stadium where you can just hit bombs and their lineup's kind of
Yes,
fun.
it is. It is. They're a team to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on to the National League. Let's start in the East there. Um, I have a little surprise here. So I've got the Braves winning the East, and then I've got the Mets finishing in second, the Phillies in third, Marlins in fourth, and Nationals in fifth. And I know it's kind of
I
interesting,
was
like you
like,
said.
what's your little twist here?
So my twists, a lot of people I think have the Phillies winning the division going far. And I know the Phillies started off awful here against the Rangers, and I guess that kind of adds to it a little bit.
Yeah.
But Bryce Harper's injured. Reese Hoskins is obviously a really odd injury that just
We
kind of,
tore his ACL.
yeah. I mean, he crumbled though. It was like a super
Yeah.
odd, like didn't look like anything, and he just crumbled. With the Phillies, though, I think their pitching's in trouble, and they didn't look good, Nola and Wheeler.
Mm.
But
None of them look good.
not
Also,
enough.
Nola, they stopped talking contract extensions too. So like
Interesting.
bad blood now.
I know,
Aaron
like
Nola, St. Louis.
you
He did kind of pitch bad in the postseason though, but
you add Trey Turner, you have JT Remuto when healthy, Castellanos, Harper,
Schwarber.
Schwarber. Yeah, I mean it's a loaded team. We don't put enough emphasis on how hard it is to play all the way into October, let alone the World Series, and then bounce back again this year. And I just think that's a lot to ask for your Nola and Wheeler. And Nola's really, in my opinion, a little overrated. Like
I agree. I agree. Everyone always says like I think Wheeler's better.
I agree. I agree. So I have them finishing in third, and I think they missed out on the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I had Braves, Mets, Phillies, Miami Nats, and I too. I guess
Same thing.
we can talk like who we have in the postseason after this, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just like their lineup's really good, but their defense is terrible.
Mhm.
Their pitchers is only um it's only Nola Wheeler, and then they have who's their third, like Ranger Suarez.
Yeah,
He's solid. He pitched good in the postseason, I think, but
you did.
yeah, I think Miami's kind of a fun team too. They just have a bunch of weird weird players.
It is. It is. Moving on to the National League Central, our division, but also probably the worst division. I have the Cardinals finishing in first place by over 7 games. I think we kind of run
I
away with it.
hope.
I got the Brewers in second, Cubs in third, Reds or Pittsburgh in fourth, I should say, and then the Reds coming in fifth. But
Um,
I have to
what?
mention Pirates over the Cubs is a possibility. If the Pirates have some fun options to kind of like
Yeah.
if they click, something might happen. But I'll stick with that.
Yeah, I have Cards one, Brewers two, Pirates three.
Okay, I like that.
I had that down before you just said that.
Uh
Cubs
huh.
four, Reds five. I do like the Reds pitching out of I think the bottom three is the best with Lodolo and Hunter Green,
Hmm.
but they're just they don't have a lot of bats. You got really old Joey Votto. I really hope Tyler Stevenson stays healthy the full season because he
Yes,
looks like a star at
please.
catcher.
I'm tired of making these catcher rankings where we
I
talk
know,
about
having him
is he
like
going to
top
be
five
healthy?
every time.
Yeah.
Uh, Jonathan India, I don't think I think he's solid. I don't know if he's like an all star kind of guy, but
Hmm.
I think in a couple years the Reds will be maybe the pushing us for the lead, and the Pirates.
Ooh.
All those three. I think those three are kind of on the upward, and then the Brewers are kind of on like a slow decline,
Yes.
especially since Burns, and then with their arbitration, they got kind of bad blood. But I sure hope we run away with it. But I
I
do like
think
the
the
Pirates.
Chicago I do too. I think the Chicago Cubs are in a I don't like saying this, almost a win-win
Hmm.
because we've mentioned before how let's say they halfway through the year they have a lot of expectations over there. Everything I'm seeing, like they actually think they
Yeah.
can make the playoffs. I don't think they can. I don't
No.
think they have enough pitching at all. But you got like Hosmer and all these guys that you can kind of just flip at the deadline and get some young guys for it. I
They
don't know.
have
I
a
think they're in
young.
kind of
They
a
have his name's Matt Mervis, a really good
yes,
prospect, like first baseman, which I think a lot of Cubs fans probably want him over the Eric Hosmer.
yes, yep. Moving on
But
to
I
the
think in a
National
couple
League.
years, all those, I think the NL Central is going to be pretty. It's going to be back to one of the best divisions in baseball.
It was dominant there when we were like 13.
Yeah.
Now, it's been bad these last few years. Moving on to the National League West, I have the Dodgers winning the division. I have the Padres in second. I have the Arizona Diamondbacks in third. I have the Colorado Rockies in fourth, and I have the Giants in fifth place. But who knows? The Giants might
Exact
win
same.
it. Really?
Exact
Okay.
same. Yeah.
I
I
thought I
put the
thought you
Gi-
might respect the Giants more than I
No,
did.
they look awful. They're like I don't even know half the players. Like,
I know it's a bunch of randoms.
yeah, they just
Yeah.
platoon everyone.
It's funny.
Um,
Oakland and San Francisco are both in really bad spots.
yeah. And Oakland's gonna be they're moving to Vegas, aren't they? Didn't they announce that in the
A,
offseason?
a lot of talk about it. I don't know if it's official or
I
not, but
thought they
yeah,
officially
definitely.
said that. Oakland is I
The
swear I
Rockies
saw
are in.
something.
I'm going to talk about the Rockies real quick. They
Yeah.
won the first two games against the Padres, and then they lost the last two here. But um, they're a team that's interesting because they can mash. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously playing in Colorado, if they
Yeah.
get enough pitching,
Yeah.
Kyle Freeland, Herman Marquez, like if those guys can pitch well enough, can Chris Bryant stay healthy for a full year? I mean, they have
No,
I
he's
don't know,
overrated.
and with the Diamondbacks,
They're
Diamondbacks are
fun.
my sneaky team, man. They
They're gonna
really
be like
are.
Seattle from last year.
I like that. Yeah, I do like that.
They're
Did you find
fun.
anything on the
Corbin
A's?
Carroll, I just watched a video of him stealing back-to-back bases against Syndergaard, and he was literally at
Mhm.
the base right when Will Smith is about to throw. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa. And
Yeah, he's electric.
they got Christian Walker. He was high on our rankings.
Yep.
Hopefully Ketel Marte gets back to being Ketel Marte because I always liked him. And then they just got some guys.
Merrill
They
Kelly,
got
Zach
they got
Gallen.
we're so dumb. Whenever we were talking about the Toronto, we still were talking about like they had their whoever their high
I
prospect
know
catcher is, but
the
they
catcher
traded him for
Moreno.
Varsho.
Yeah, I know. I realized that like
What's his
2 weeks
name?
after
I
Moreno.
can't. Yeah, and I think he's playing for starting for them. Him and Carson Kelly are their
Yes,
catchers.
I believe so.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that was
keep an eye on the Diamondbacks.
yeah.
Um, we can move
I
on.
think the Associated Press reported that
Oh,
Rob Manfred confirmed that they are going to relocate to Las Vegas. I think.
interesting. Makes sense. Oakland's obviously their crowd is not literally non-existent.
No, non-existent.
It's unreal. We can move on to I guess we can do MVPs first. My MVP in the National League is Ronald Acuna Jr. What about you?
Ronald Acuna.
Mm-hmm.
I put Arenado. I was like, I feel like he needs one. This is
He
his
does
year.
need one. He does.
This is
He
his
was
year.
my
But I
pick
also
last
put
year.
a couple guys that I kind of liked. I low key kind of like Francisco Lindor. I think he's really good defensively with no shift. He could have good defensive numbers,
Yep.
and he's kind of getting back to Cleveland. Francisco Lindor, a lot of homers, like decent average and a lot of RPIs. So I think he could do something special. Then this one's like kind of a long shot. Um, I I kind of got this idea from listening to the Just Baseball show. But Matt Olson, because I know he had a bad year last year, but it was his first year. But I kind of was getting on the train just because they said the year before he was in Atlanta, he had 39 homers at in Oakland. Like,
Yeah.
and that's a not a hitter friendly ballpark. I don't think he will win it, but that's just a guy to keep on your radar.
I kind of like that. I don't think he will win it, but that is
No. And
interesting
he's a solid at
because
defense too.
he is. And, big doubles guy.
Mhm.
We've seen guys. Goldie is a great example. First year here wasn't really living up to the expectations, and then got comfortable and kind of
Mhm.
popped off. I kind of like that.
Same with Arenado. His first year wasn't
Yes,
great.
yes. In the American League, I have Shohei Ohtani.
Same.
Okay. Yeah, I
But
mean,
I put some other guys because I'm like, and it obviously has to be Otani.
hmm,
I think I had this guy as my AL MVP last year, which I don't know why I had it because Shohei Ohtani was still playing. But I always like Jose Ramirez. I don't know. I just think he just gets the numbers that people like. Um,
he deserves
and I
them.
also put Adley Rushman.
We know, yeah, Adley might deserve it. Especially impact on both sides of the ball, like you said with Lindor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the Orioles make the playoffs. I don't know. I do like that. Moving on to Cy Young, I got Julio Urias in the National League as my Cy Young.
Mm.
What about you?
I got Zach Gallen from the Diamondbacks.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, I don't want to pick someone. I was almost picked Max Scherzer, but I'm like, I'll pick someone different.
Is it just me, or did you, whenever you're looking through the National League, was it kind of difficult?
Kind of what? Sorry.
Kind of difficult because I was having a
Yeah,
hard
I
time.
I looked at it for a while.
I was having
I
a
at
very
first
hard
put
time.
Spencer Strider because I was like, I honestly looked at what he pitched
Oh,
like yesterday. I was like, oh, he pitched really good. But then I looked at last year and he only pitched like a little over 100 innings. I don't think he'll have a lot of innings. He'll have a lot of strikeouts, but and Zach Gallen last year he threw like 190 innings, had a lot of strikeouts too because they like strikeouts, and his ERA was low, and he led the National League in WHIP too.
I didn't want to do Burns or Sandy. I didn't
Yeah,
want to. I was thinking Brandon Woodruff. That was one of my guys.
I was thinking Burns, but
Um,
I'm like, I think he's gonna have a bad year with being kind of not
Not up
comfortable
there.
anymore.
Yeah. And then the American League, I have a guy that I'm really fond of, and that's Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease is my American League
Yeah, I
Cy
put
Young.
Dylan Cease or this guy like Framber Valdez. He had the super long
Ah,
streak of
oh
quality
yeah,
starts,
that's right.
and because I was he like people just do not hit the ball in the air against him, which is crazy.
No,
But I like the way he
it's
pitches.
crazy that he's that dominant in Houston too. That's a very hitter
Yeah.
friendly ballpark. My rookie of the year in the National League is Carroll for the Diamondbacks.
So I listed three, say,
Okay.
because the first person I put was very biased, and that is Jordan Walker.
Yeah, obviously.
um, and then Corbin Carroll, I like him a lot. And then this
Mm-hmm.
one, I think people are forgetting Kodai Senga for the Mets
Mm, okay.
coming over. But Corbin Carroll, after watching him steal those two bases, was crazy. So I think he could have like
He's
50
electric.
stolen bases.
In the American League, I'm between two, and I think
Me too. I listed two.
the okay. I have Volpe winning it. Did
Ooh,
you
I did
list
not
Did you
list
list
him.
Volpe? Okay. What do you got?
I had Gunnar Henderson for the Orioles and Matsutaka Yoshida, who went off in the World
Ah,
Baseball Classic.
he did. He did go
It's
off.
just like what I did last year. I picked Seiya Suzuki.
Yeah, I think I might have picked Suzuki also. Actually, I um I like the Gunnar Henderson pick. I think he's the sexy pick there.
Mhm.
Um, I think Volpe's going to get a lot of playing time. That's why I kind of
Yeah.
picked him in New York. But it's New York. I mean, maybe the
I'm
pressure gets
surprised
to him.
he got called up too, actually.
I was too. I was too. The Yankees don't usually do that type of thing.
Hmm.
Manager of the year, I have the Blue Jays manager John Schneider winning it because I have them winning the division.
I had I had their manager last year and he got fired.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that.
That was funny. I think I had the Seattle's last year for AL, but I think he was like second, Scott Cervais. But
Yep.
it was this were you doing AL right now?
Yeah, American League. Yeah.
I'm doing Bruce Bochy. I think the Rangers are going to be close to playoff contention.
Okay. I like that. National League. Sorry for anybody that thinks I'm biased. I do have Ali Marmol winning
Mm.
National League Manager of the Year.
I have Arizona's Tori Lovulo. Two
I
teams I
thought
think are on
about
the
it.
up and coming. Which
Hmm.
I guess this is we can go into lead up to our World Series matchup. Just go through our like playoff teams and then do our World Series matchup.
I always forget how many teams is it? Seven? Seven each?
It's 6
Okay.
because there's two.
America.
Yeah, 3 wild card teams.
Three. Okay. Gotcha. Seven's NFL. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go obviously Blue Jays, Guardians, Mariners,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think I'm gonna go Yankees, Rays, Astros.
Yeah, I had Guardians, Toronto, Astros, and then Tampa and Yankees as a wild card from the AL East, and then Seattle from the
Okay.
West.
Is that the exact same?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Seattle. I think that AL West division, the Astros and Seattle battle is going to be. I think all the divisions could be kind of close at the top. Actually, the AL
I
Central,
agree.
who knows? I'm very interested to see too how teams' records are because everyone's playing everyone this year too.
I know that is something to keep an eye on for sure. In the National League, I'm gonna go. And again, I said mine really jumbled up. That was not the order, but Braves, Cardinals, Dodgers, and then I'm going to go Mets. Oh, I didn't. I don't think the Phillies make it. I know that's like the bold pick. I'm going to go
I
Brewers
don't
get
have them
in.
in either.
Okay, I got the Brewers as my fifth team, and I'll go Padres as my sixth team.
Yeah, same. Braves, Cards, Dodgers, Mets, Brewers, Padres.
Okay, so no Diamondbacks. Not that step
No,
yet.
close, not yet.
Close. Yeah,
But I
close.
do
Okay.
think the Padres Dodgers race is gonna be close because I don't think the Dodgers are the same as they have been. Their lineup's not. I know they have Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, but that's two
I agree.
players.
Yep.
The Angels have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, so and their
If they had
pitchers,
Walker Bueller, I would feel a little better.
yeah, their pitchers are good, but they've all kind of had injury concerns and
Yes.
innings. They don't pitch a lot of innings.
My World Series matchup. Ew, this is interesting. My World Series matchup is the Seattle Mariners and the Atlanta Braves. And I
Mm.
have the Mariners
I almost
winning the
had
World
that. I almost picked that.
Series.
You have the
I have the
Mariners.
Mariners winning the World Series in seven.
That's the big stack to pick.
Oh, yeah.
So I made a point of not choosing the Cardinals because I think we both did that last year and we
We
lost the
did.
first round.
I know.
Um, so mine's kind of a lame one. It's the Braves versus Astros, and the Astros repeat, which I don't think has
Okay.
been done in a really long time, but whatever.
Yeah. Uh, why didn't either of us mention Julio Rodriguez for MVP? I feel like that's a possibility.
Because Shohei Ohtani is
Well,
in
that's
the
right.
American League.
I
Or Mike
forgot
Trout. I
that's right.
did like Ohtani, that I did people that are kind of under the radar. Like obviously, I think Julio is one of the top like odds. Obviously, Ohtani is number one.
I should have put this guy down. I think if the Blue Jays, I
Vladdy.
think I was gonna say Bo Bichette. That's
Mm,
my crazy bold one. But
yeah.
so yeah, well, wait,
And
you had Astros over the Braves or Braves over Astros?
yeah, I'd Astros.
Astros over the Braves.
I didn't want to pick
Okay.
the Braves. I don't really like either team, but I don't really like the Braves that much.
Yeah.
They have
Well,
a fun team, which sucks, but I don't like them that much.
I'm gonna make a video for us here. I want to see what people think about the World Series picks this year because I think a lot of people are still picking the Phillies because they got Trey Turner and like
Yeah,
all these names, but I'm
I
not
don't
with it.
think so. Also, I
Yeah.
think the Mets lose first round in the playoffs.
They might, bro.
Yeah.
They literally might. They literally might. But no, thank you guys for listening. We will be back on Friday with another athlete interview for you guys. Thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
See you guys.